Hey everyone, welcome to the Star Wars Popcast. My name is Christopher.
And my name's Patrick. Welcome.
Yeah, and today we have an awesome episode planned today. So we have we have Fish on from the K Dog and Fish YouTube channel. So we'll be talking to him a little bit later in the episode. But before we do that, let's jump into our pop report.
No need to report that to him until we have something to report.
Hey everyone, welcome to the Star Wars Popcast. My name is Christopher.
And I'm Patrick.
And today on episode 14, we're going to be talking about the Bad Batch wrapping up. So we're gonna do a little bit of a recap for you guys and go through some characters that we could possibly see as Funko Pops, hopefully later this year, because like I said, like in previous videos and episodes, both on the podcast here on other streams. Like they've been kind of lacking as far as like getting some Funko Pops out for new stuff. Like it took forever to get the Book of Boba Fett Funko Pops.
Yeah, it did. Took a little
I
too
think
long.
so, yeah.
I think, a big
Yeah,
stall
for
on
sure.
that. We missed a lot of, I think, great characters that we could
Yeah.
add along the way.
But before we get into that topic, let's jump into our pop report because we got a few things to go over there. So let's jump into the pop report.
No need to report that to him until we have something to report.
All right, so the first item on our pop report, we have the digital NFTs that are coming here. So this was revealed just earlier this week. What are your thoughts on the digital NFTs there, Patrick?
I'm kind of split on this one, Chris. I really do like the idea of it. Um, t- I guess I have drawbacks to, I feel that it would be nice and simple if it was just in a Funko app and you could do it and you can have your cards there. Having to go out, get, registered into another app and set up and all that.
Yeah, it's really a hassle. It's
But
what it is.
yeah, I'm not a fan of that
Yeah.
piece of it, right? But I guess if I, get this app and I get these digital cards, and from what we hear, you can buy like big bundles and stuff to try to get a rare or one that you could trade in. And that's the only thing. Like I'd hate to spend $30-$60 and not be able to get
Yeah.
one that you could trade in with. Apparently, it's only rares or if you get the whole collection. So I've never participated in any of them before again because Star Wars didn't have that. I was kind of hoping that Star Wars never went down that route.
Yeah, you and me both.
But I don't know. I'd be anxious to see what it's like. Would I like to try to get one? Yes. Would I be able to find them as resellers? I doubt it because if you're a collector
Yeah,
and
because
you're doing this,
these things are like
I think you're spending
and these
some
things
coin.
are pretty rare. Like they're gonna be like limited to like 1 in 1,000 or even less, maybe even like 1 in 500, kind of thing.
Correct. So I think the fact that they are very limited
Yeah.
and rare, it's going to drive the prices up for these things, on a
Yeah.
resale value. So the only way to do it is to try to invest in trying to get some of these card packs, open them up, and see what you get. It could be fun. I don't know. I'm torn on this one, Chris. I'm just not sure if I'm 100%
Yeah.
into it. Like I said, I really didn't want it to have to dip into this, but I might try.
Yeah,
I might try. If I find it to be not worth the effort or it's costing me so much for nothing that I can actually put on my display shelf,
Yeah.
yeah,
No,
I'm
I'm
out. But
I'm,
that's
I'm
how I
probably
feel.
just gonna pass on the whole thing. Like, unless by some chance somebody posts one on Facebook Marketplace or something for a decent price, I'm gonna pass on it. But the next thing we had a couple reveals since the last time we recorded. So actually, the same day we recorded, we finished recording, and then they revealed these. So go figure. So last week we mentioned the Darth Maul soda. Since then they revealed a Princess Leia Funko Soda, which I think is It looks beautiful.
Yes,
Like
they did.
she's in her ceremony dress from the end of A New Hope, Yavin 4,
Yavin?
yeah. And then that chase
Yeah, I
one
really
has
like
the Yavin medal. So yeah.
The medal.
So is this
Yeah,
gonna be the
yeah,
is this gonna
great
be the
job.
Funko Soda that gets you to start collecting Funko's sodas yet, or
It's funny you say that, Chris, because after our discussion about the pops and the whole mall pop and what I get or soda rather, what I get the soda. Later that day, I went to my local toy vault here
Yeah.
in Rhode Island and actually picked up 3 sodas. So I picked up 2 that I'll be giving away. It'll be something that we'll use in a
Yeah.
future segment that I kind of mentioned to you. So we'll talk about that later or at another episode. But I am going to keep the international one just because I like the colors different with the red. And if I end up getting a common or
chase,
what you
yeah.
call it, a rare in that one, so be it.
Yeah.
Yeah, the chase. So be it. But I am going to keep the one. I'll keep the Darth Vader International. The other 2 I'm going to give away. So that is my first soda. So I have already bitten into it. Would I get this one? I would. I might hold off though. I think the one I really want to get next is a Sauvage, or not Sauvage, Ventress.
Yeah, because that's rumored
That's
to be
what I
coming. We haven't seen anything about that yet, so
Yes,
Yeah.
that's the one I want. I really want to get that one. So if I can get my hands on one of those, and if I got like the chase, I'd be like, whoa! But that's the one I'm keeping my eye on. But yes, I might slide down that slippery slope of the sodas after our last episode. I've already
yeah.
have.
See,
I already have.
you just
I'm
have
down
to.
it.
You know what? I think
I'm down.
you just need to open one and get one in your hands, and get a feel for it, and to really
Yeah.
appreciate it, and then I think you'll be going down that rabbit hole, my friend.
You know what it is? Funko's
Oh,
clever.
like,
I love the
'cause
packaging.
you know
of them,
what,
you know,
they-
like the cans of soda alone
Yeah,
are just
and
fun looking.
You know what? They had other bobblehead versions of bobbleheads too. Like they had the wacky wobblers that are also Funko products that they stopped doing. Yeah, the vinyls are Funko products as well. So yeah, I don't know, man. I think
I did that kind of got me pulled
Yeah,
in a little
right?
bit. So we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. But I do like this Princess Leia Yavin. I think that's a really
Yeah.
nice one. I know Andrea and Lainey are probably trying to get a hold of one of these. I think that's
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah,
So
for sure. So the next item on our pop report, the next reveal from last week was the reveal of the next Amazon exclusives, which are called Hyperspace Heroes. So there are 6 different Funko Pop characters in a ship each. So a Funko Pop ride is what they're called, and the first one's Ahsoka in her Delta 7 Jedi fighter. What do you think about that one?
I like it. Am I a big fan of that? No. I mean, I rarely saw Ahsoka use that vehicle, in all honesty. So I think that's the only reason I'm kind of like, will we see her using it in future things? I have no idea. I honestly, I was hoping we'd see her in her little denim jumpsuit in a speeder bike if we were going to have Ahsoka in a vehicle. Because that's kind of where I last kind of see her in a pop ride style. But whatever, I like it. I'm more excited about the other pop in a Starfighter than that one now.
So the next one is the Mandalorian and Grogu in the N1 Starfighter. So that one looks really cool. See, that's going to be one I'm definitely picking up.
100%. I think every that is going to be going hot off the shelves for sure. Everyone's going to want that one. That's going to be cool.
Yeah, for sure. And then the next one is the Obi-Wan Kenobi. Again, he's in a Delta 7 style Jedi fighter, which is the one that's kind of like a triangle. Like it's in like a triangle shape. It's not the one from Episode 3. It's like from, I guess, similar to the Episode 2 one, possibly, in that style. where it's
Is it the kind that would
yeah, I
dock in
think
those kind
so.
of circular rings?
Yeah, I feel like it's that style. So yeah.
Yeah.
So
This one, the Obi-Wan, Chris, I'm really liking this one. This one is like over the Ahsoka one. I like
yeah,
this one better. I think if you've seen Clone Wars, you've seen this one used a lot. So I'm excited
right.
for this one. This was a cool looking
Yeah, I think
pop.
it looks absolutely fantastic. Probably gonna pass on this one
Yeah.
for now. As I am running out of space behind me, so we'll see. So
You're probably gonna hold out for an Anakin version of this.
that'd be
That would be
cool.
cool.
When they announced it and they announced Obi-Wan and Anakin, I thought they were gonna be like the Episode 3 Jedi fighters. The yellow one and the red one. I thought it was
Yeah, like from the very intro scene.
that would
Yeah,
that's what I thought.
I thought. I
Yeah.
did too. I did too.
But no, it's not. But then the next one is Luke Skywalker. It says Luke Skywalker in airspeeder, but it's the snow speeder. This one I might get like it's pretty cool. I don't have the wedge, but you have the wedge, don't you?
I do have the wedge. So I'll get this one. This isn't like at the top of mine of ones from this series. I'm gonna get it because I do like it. It's Luke in there, awesome. Another Luke in a vehicle, take it all day. But I have the wedge, and I just think it'll be nice to have both of these guys together, a little snowspeeder
Yeah.
fleet, if you will. But yeah, I think probably because I have wedge is all like. Because it's a snow speeder. I have that in a pop. It's kind of like I already have that. Do I need to have another one? No, but it's Luke, and I wouldn't mind having that. Because I have a Poe Dameron X-wing, and I have a Luke Skywalker X-wing as well. So would I pass up on another pop that's in this series? Hell no. That just the vehicle and the character itself in one of these next pops we'll be revealing here in a sec is definitely I want. Definitely I
Yeah,
want
for
that
sure.
one.
So the next one after that is Harrison Dula in a X-wing, and this one's really cool because we've only gotten one Harrison Dula. This one is one I might pick up. What about yourself? Are you gonna pick this one up at first, or this is gonna be one you're gonna hold off on?
100%. No, I want this one. This one I think is a great one because this when Hera led the charge on Lothal.
I think so.
And I think a lot of the X-wings are picked out of the air. That's what she crashed too on this one, right? That's what she got captured and everything. So that was a great scene. It really kind of harkened back to A New Hope when they had the S-foils lock position, and they all opened up and got in position. That was really cool. And you kind of got that in animation form. You had a lot of different X-wing pilots, the banter back and forth. Hera in there leading the squad. It was great. So I definitely want, and give me more Hera. You know what I mean? I definitely want this one.
And then the last one is young Anakin with R2 in the old N1 starfighter, the Naboo starfighter from Episode 1.
The OG N1.
Yeah. This one's one that I'm definitely gonna
this
get.
is cool.
I'm gonna get the two N1 starfighters. Those are gonna be the ones that I pick up first, and then the other ones I'll probably pick up later on, but probably not when they're initially released.
Yeah, those are the two. Yeah, those are two are definitely on my target. I would have much rather have young Annie from Phantom Menace.
Yeah, how cool would that be?
Much
if
rather
they did like an
that.
Anakin and a Sebulba in pod racers.
I was just gonna say, you know what? I feel that if they're not doing it now, will they do it in another series of some sort? I hope so because that's so they'd be so awesome. I think that just the way they've been sculpting them and being able to do things floating and stuff like that. I can imagine like the pod racer engines in the front. You have that nice acrylic with the the voltage going between the two, keeping them together. It would look so tight. And they did a young Annie with the goggles and the helmet, but again, it's that old style kind of hero pose, right? So they could do so much better now and put him into the vehicle itself. It's an ultimate. We already have him as a single. So I'm hoping that there's going to be a second series or wave to this, a volume 2, because there's so many other ones I'd love to see. But hey, I'll take this line because I'll take what I get in this. This is a nice new, fresh line, not a
Oh
resculpt or
yeah,
repaint. This is
yeah, for
awesome.
sure. It's amazing. I'm really excited for these ones. So let's jump into our next segment. We've been doing top 5 Funko Pops that we'd like to see from each episode of The Mandalorian, and we had another banger of an episode with the pirate episode, chapter 21, the pirate. So yeah, it was
Yes,
a
we
banger of
did.
an episode.
Yes, we did. It really did have that pirate overtone. I was saying earlier in one of our streams that we had, I felt that it was very kind of like that Disney pirate-esque where you kind of had the hints of the Pirates of the Caribbean, coming in the Port Orleans or whatever it was. You have that kind of one character that kind of looks like a take on Shmi from Peter Pan, being a pirate. So I thought it was just really well done, and they had a lot of little pieces in there. So very excited overall to have again another solid Mando episode. How many we have left? Like 1, 2? We don't have too many
Yeah,
left.
not
So
too many left at all. 3 maybe actually, because we're on chapter 21 now. So I think we're on chapter 21. So I think we got 3 more left, if I'm not mistaken.
there's a lot. There's a lot to get through, and 3 more.
Oh, yeah.
So it'll be exciting.
Yeah, for sure.
For sure.
So let's jump into our next segment. Then we'll jump into the top 5.
Magnificent, aren't they?
All right, so Patrick, why don't you kick things off with your top 5 characters that you'd like to see from the episode?
Sure. So for my first one, I wanted to go with something that we always talk about. Funko droids, creatures, they kill it every time. So a droid that I've seen, and I don't think either of us had picked it out earlier, but I was choosing Grief Karga's protocol droid, that gold copper droid with the green eyes. I just think that would be really an excellently made Funko Pop, and I would like to see this one. And we both aren't really into the chromes too much.
For this one, it works.
This one would look
for certain
really
things,
nice.
it works. So like for the Mandalorian with the chrome armor, where they did his armor in chrome, but then everything else was painted. It looked phenomenal. That's one of my favorite Funko Pops. And then like the Captain Phasma, the same thing.
And I think this would make one too. Yeah. And I'd like to see it if they could go back to that kind of jeweled eye from the original Jawa, where you can kind of have green ones to kind of make this droid's eyes really glow and pop against that gold chrome.
That would be awesome.
I don't know. That would be a cool idea. Would it happen? I don't know. But that would be a great pop. My second choice was Captain Carson.
Oh, nice.
So... yeah, I think that would. We've had him in a few episodes. This one, he had a couple different outfits, or whatnot. I was thinking the obvious would probably be the X-wing, but I wasn't going to go with the X-wing. I thought it would be kind of cool where he had his kind of bomber jacket when he went into the corporate office to talk to like Tim Meadows' character. I thought that was kind of cool. It was just neat. You don't get to see that kind of, he's trying to dress down. He wasn't in his flight suit. So I just thought it was a neat opportunity to get a cool pop you don't see. Maybe that's a chase and the normal is the flight suit. You know what I mean? Like the common would be a flight suit, but definitely let's give him a pop. I mean, his whole backstory to get onto the show is cool. He's been in all 3 seasons.
Yeah.
Hook him up.
And like this time he's got like 3 different outfits this time, so you're a main character when you got 3 different outfits, and like he had more than 5 minutes of screen time. Yeah.
Right? Yeah. He was a solid staple in that episode. So yeah, we followed him to Coruscant. You know what I mean? Like all the way back to Coruscant. So I thought it was well done. I liked it. I think his character, he's one. He's kind of cool. Now, my third one honestly should have been my first pick. So I guess I'm teasing people by not having said it first, but 100% Loved this cameo.
Yeah.
Zeb from
Such a
Star
great
Wars
cameo.
Rebels coming in.
And they did such a fantastic job on the special effects. Like, he looked amazing.
Chris, I was going to just say the same thing. Like that, I really just loved how awesome that came to life in live action. I was blown away. Like I was saying, I felt like the Leonardo
Yeah,
when he
that
came on,
meme?
because at
Yeah.
first I was like, "That is that him?" And then you heard the voice, right? And you're like, "That's the same actor." So it's got it. It is a Zeb, right? I was so pumped for that. That was so well done. Love that one. So 100% think we should get a cool little pop of that little cameo. That was
Absolutely.
awesome. And hell, if we're not getting it for this, maybe that's just kind of our introduction to the character that we'll see in Ahsoka, and maybe we'll get him in Ahsoka in that blue flight, like I don't know, X-wing,
Yeah.
Y-wing, but the blue Rebel flight suit. That would be
Yeah.
awesome.
Or
That'd be
hopefully we
really
get that
cool.
Rangers of the Republic show, because he's clearly part of that Adelphi Rangers group that's on that planet Adelphi, right? Or Delphi, or whatever it's called. Yeah, so...
Yes. Yeah. I mean, it was kind of cool. I got that kind of China Beach
Oh, yeah,
feel
yeah.
from that. I don't know if you ever saw that China Beach series back in the day, but I kind of got that. It was only for like what, 30 seconds, a minute, that like kind of outside getting into
Yeah.
the bar and all that, which was like a old hangar or something like that,
Or,
like a
or like
Quonset hut.
like some of those war movies.
It was just kind of
like
cool.
the Vietnam War movies there, right? Like, yeah.
Yeah, I thought that was just kind of neat. So I was like, you know what? If they could do a spinoff and make it cool like that, that could be kind of neat. We haven't
Yeah.
seen anything like that. I was thinking even if they did like a Baba Black Sheep with like, following a bunch of X-wing pilots like that,
Yeah.
that would be cool. But whatever. I don't know. Any more Star Wars is good
Yeah,
Star
for sure.
Wars to me. So, but circling back into the next pop that I was thinking for my fourth was really tying it back into the whole theme of this episode was pirate. So I thought another one would be that Ugnaught pirate
Yes.
that we had, because he was the one I was saying earlier that reminded me of Shmi from Peter Pan, Captain Hook's
Yep.
little right hand man. So I thought that would have been really cool to have, because I photographed the one, but I think that's the only one we have, right?
You know what?
That's the only Ugnaught
I was
we have
thinking
as a
that too,
Funkos
but
from
then
that
also
three-pack, right?
isn't Quill an Ugnaught? So we have
He
the two.
is. So
I
we
don't
got
have that
two.
Quill though, but
We
didn't
do
you
have
pick up
two.
that Quill just recently? Or no? Or is that the one you meant to
did.
pick up?
You know what? I didn't. No, I
think you did. Yeah.
I think I ended up picking him up. I did end up picking him up. I picked him up and I already put him downstairs. He's not even up here anymore. I picked him up, put him down there. But yeah, I did finally get him.
Yeah, but
I
yeah,
did.
the
So
totally
yeah,
got,
I think
totally
that
got
would be a
Shmi
good one.
vibes from Captain Hook.
Yeah, with
Yeah,
that
for
striped
sure.
sweater. Totally. So that's what
Oh, yeah,
I
for
thought
sure.
it was cool, and I liked how they did that. It was tactfully done. If you're a Star Wars fan and you're a Disney fan, you kind of blend those together. They hit the nail on the head with that. It was just a great call out. And then my fifth and final. There were so many cool droids. Great bunch of Mandalorians in this one that you could have picked any number of
for
them
sure.
to do as a pop, as well as these pirates. But I chose one pirate in particular because we have not had a pop of the species yet. I wanted the Quarren pirate, because we have like a Davy Jones from Pirates of the Caribbean styles, right? So I know they can do the tentacles coming down and they make it look really good. And it was just kind of fun in this episode where he was shooting at the little space monkeys, and then they kind of dimed him out later to the Mandos that like, hey, they're setting up the trap and box you in there. So they kind of knew they were walking into a trap. So I thought that was kind of neat. But just that the character itself looks so cool. It could have been a Trandoshan, an Aqualash, any number of those pirates.
Could
I
have
would
even
have
picked
taken.
one of the Kowakian monkey lizards too. Like we got that Salacious Crumb that came with Jabba.
Yeah!
But we don't actually have an individual pop on the black base, right? So
have him hanging off a tree.
Yeah.
Have a tree and have him hanging off of it or something.
Yeah.
Right? Do that. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't even think of that. That would have been
Yeah, and
another good
there were
one.
so
But
many characters
yeah,
to pick from this episode.
this episode is
Yeah, for
so
sure.
rich. Yeah, they're so rich with different. I'd even take one of the Babu Frick, the
Yeah,
Andrillians, or
the
we just
Antellans
call
or
them
whatever.
Babus, but
Yeah,
I'll take one of them. Yeah, they're awesome looking. I'd
yeah. I
take
mean,
another one.
I
I
think
only have
we have
the one that
yeah
was
we
a
both had those on our list, like the first episode that came out when he was so
yes.
yeah. Um,
Love to get another
so
one of those guys.
starting off
What do you
my
got?
top five here, I went with Carson Teva, but I went with his bomber jacket, but the scene in the bar where he's wearing his X-wing outfit underneath there. So I think the colors will complement each other, like
Yeah,
the orange from the jumpsuit, the brown on the bomber jacket. Like I think that'll look really really sharp. Um, and
I
again,
do too.
like
That's
such a
good
great
call.
character.
Again, give me any of them. Give me
Yeah,
variants,
yeah,
chases.
for
We'll
sure.
take them.
Yeah,
He's a cool character.
because like we said, like he even had like the X-wing pilot outfit, and then he had the helmet on. So you need one of those in your collection to go with all your other X-wing pilots. So yeah,
Yeah, you know what? They should just do a pack with all of those guys, because you had all three
yeah,
directors, right? Uh,
Deborah
Filoni, I
Chow
can't
and
remember the other
yeah,
guy, and Chow, right? And then you have this guy Carson, and then remember in the earlier season when he was with the pilot, who ended up being the stand-in for Luke with the deep fake that they do for
yeah,
Skywalker. So you can actually do a 5-pack. You could do a 5-pack, have all of them in
yeah.
a 5-pack.
That would be cool.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, yeah.
That'd be dope.
And you mentioning that, did you catch their cameo in this one with Filoni and them sitting at the bar at the other end of the bar there?
You know what, I did, and I wasn't sure. So when it first panned, I think I kind of missed Filoni's face at first, but I caught the
Yeah,
cowboy hat as it was coming
yeah.
around
And
the
then you see
back
Deborah
end.
Chow. You
You
see
get
Deborah
his
Chow's
hat,
face
and then
like dead on there. So
yes,
I was like, oh, nice.
yeah, and that's what I
Yeah,
saw first. Yeah, and then I realized, because then you see the other guy kind of came in frame for a second.
yeah.
The other director, was it?
Rick something. I
I
can't
can't
remember his
remember
last
his
name
name.
though.
I kept thinking it was like
Something
Fuqua
like
or
that.
something. I
Yeah.
know it's wrong. I'm wrong with that.
But yeah, no.
But he was in it, and so when I saw those two directors, I was like, that had to be Filoni. So when I watched on the rewind, I was like, oh, that was him. He
Yeah, and
called
that's
him
pretty
real
awesome
quick.
because like
But I thought that
he's
was
got his
really
cowboy hat on. He's got like the bomber jacket that Carson Teva's wearing. You know, that's awesome.
yeah, that is cool.
So for my second
is
pick,
cool.
I also went with Zeb, because with the Ahsoka show coming, you got to think Funko's going to release a Zeb from this season, just to hype things up. Yeah,
They
for
need
sure. So for my third pick, I went with the Armorer. So the first season we got that just the Armorer with her arms down. I think she's holding a couple of her tools with that one, or does she have the?
I think it's just a hammer. I think it's just a hammer. She's
Well, anyways, I saw
it's kind of like cross. She's kind of got it across her.
when I saw this scene with the Armorer and she's like beating those pirates, like I was like, you know what? Funko can do like an action pose with her, like with the hammer in one hand and like the tongs or pliers or whatever in the other hand. Yeah.
Where she's grabbing the guys.
Yeah.
I
Do her
agree.
in
I agree.
Really cool battle pose. That'd look awesome.
Yeah, man, taking action. That would be awesome. That would be
so
dope.
for my number 4, I picked the Ugnaught pirate. Same reasons, like reminded me of Shmi from Captain Hook, and he just looks so cool. Like the Ugnaught characters look so cool, and this guy was no exception. Like with the bandana and stuff on his head, and yeah, he looks very very cool.
And the ear piercing. It was just cool.
Yeah.
I liked it. It just had a cool. We've had space pirates, so I don't think people should have been surprised from this, because if you've ever seen Clone Wars or Rebels,
Hondo,
you have Hondo.
And you know what? And
right, one of the most famous.
We're getting that skeleton
Star
crew,
Wars.
which I think has something to do with pirates too. So maybe we'll see that one that escaped.
Yes, and I haven't really read some of the High Republic, but I believe like the Nile is kind of like a space pirate kind of thing as like group
Yeah.
as well. So I haven't really read into that as much, but it wasn't so out of touch for to have space pirates in the Mandalorian. I think some people were like, "Well, it's pirates." That was kind of out of left field, but it
Yeah.
isn't. But I thought they
Oh yeah,
did a
for
really
sure.
good job. It was
Absolutely.
fun.
So for my last pick, rounding out my top five, I went with one of your picks from our first top five. You went with Gorian Shard, and he was so awesome in this episode. Like he, such a great villain. Like that first episode of the season, he was in the show for maybe like what a minute, if that, saying yeah,
Yeah,
give me your ship, I'll let you go.
Mando.
But yeah, no,
Yeah,
we got him for almost a whole episode. So great looking character. Yeah,
it was cool. I agree, and I think your reason for picking him, much like mine, is he would make whether how big or small he was, the character is unique enough that like it would look
yeah,
really
and
cool
he's
as a
got like
pop. Like with the
the
beard, that
pirate
seaweed beard, and
kind
all
of
that.
outfit, like Captain Hook almost, with like the big overdone shoulder pieces, right, with the red and the gold. Yeah,
Yep,
so
I thought it was
oh yeah, for
cool.
sure.
So I, I definitely think that we should get him. He probably would have been on mine, Chris.
Yeah,
Honestly, for this episode, had I not chosen him already
right.
from a previous one. So I probably would have. I probably would have put him on my list instead of my protocol droid, but I already had him on the list and have the
Yeah,
protocol droid, and it was just kind of cool. Again, there's so many in this that I could have any number of Mandalorians I would have taken, any number of the different kind of pirate species, I take them. So I was all in on this one. I just love all these creatures and characters look so cool. Very impressed with it.
yeah,
Very
for
impressed
sure.
with it.
So that does it for our top five. So let's jump into our main discussion here. So today we're going to be talking about the Bad Batch. We'll be talking about the recap. So let's jump into that.
I speak.
The ability to speak does not make you intelligent.
Love that intro with the Jar Jar. Your favorite character? I speak.
Hey, I'm not a total hater on him, but and you guys now know. I like I said,
No,
I
no.
wasn't a hater on him. I didn't
Yeah.
prefer him, but I did. I always
Yeah.
respect it.
I
on
I
my
had to
best,
throw
what he
that.
did,
I had
and
to
hope-
throw that sound
you know,
clip
again.
in our discussion intro just for you, Patrick.
Love it though. It is great. It is great, and we here on our channel really are so pumped to have Almond
Yeah.
Best coming back
Yeah.
in The Mandalorian like he did a couple episodes ago. Gave him some due
Yeah,
props,
for
man.
sure.
It was just really cool. Keller back
Yeah.
for sure. And please, Funko, we're not going to give up on that.
Oh, yeah,
Make
for
him
sure.
a Funko Pop
Yeah.
for sure.
So
100%.
yeah, we finished the last two episodes of the Bad Batch just this past week. Overall, I don't think it was as good as the first season though. For me, like there were more episodes that were kind of misses
I don't know.
for me.
I feel differently. I didn't like. You know what? I got tired of the A Team. I got tired of the A Team style missions where every week we go out and we help some random person out there or a mission for Sid.
Yeah,
I got
for
tired
sure.
of that.
Well, I
real
mean,
quick.
and that's exactly what I mean.
I'll be
like,
honest.
There were the ones that I liked were the ones that that didn't have the A Team. Like there were the odd team that the odd episode that had the main team in it, right? That I liked, but for the most part, it was those few episodes, like literally a handful of episodes that had like Crosshair or followed some other character, right? So
Yeah, and I really think let's face it, anytime this season when Crosshair episodes were on, they hit.
Yeah.
They hit 100%. On the mark. I mean, you felt it, and you felt it here. Those are great, emotionally charged episodes. Like, and they weren't like, yeah, that was so action and Crosshair and this thing. No, like it was more like Crosshair's dealing with a lot more than he
Yeah,
probably
for
bargained
sure.
for, right? And we as fans kind of saw this journey, and you kind of like, man, I can't believe he's not with the batch. And the story arc we've gotten of him so far has been
Yeah.
very well done, very well pieced together. I mean, that story is well thought out, and so I'm happy to see where it continues
Yeah.
going forward. Um, what's your thoughts about my man Tech?
That was that was
What's
really
your thoughts
sad.
about that?
That was sad. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like tragic.
See, I would say this season did a lot to build his
Oh yeah, for
character
sure.
up, in my opinion. There's a lot of focus on that, on him, and a lot of focus with the
With
interactions he
Omega.
had
Yeah.
with Omega. Yeah. So and which was interesting because he was such a cool character, and I felt we didn't get enough little tidbits of him in this first season. So I was really excited on this season to get it. But I just had this inkling something was going to happen. And honestly, I thought it was going to be a crosshair sacrifice for him, possibly, or the vice versa. So it was cool that we didn't have that, right? Because it really kept its two separate storylines. So if and when Crosshair comes back, that's going to be just as emotional as just losing
Yeah.
Tech, right? And so that's going to be cool. I think that's going to be great to see. Hopefully, we'll see that. But that Tech scene, that was just awesome. When do we ever follow orders?
Right. Yeah.
That was awesome.
Oh,
The
yeah,
ultimate
for sure.
sacrifice, man, for the squad. That was
But devastating at the
awesome.
same time.
Yeah, it was because and I try to think about it like if it wasn't for Tech, they can't get into half the places and do
Yeah.
half the things they do. You just lost a really instrumental piece
yeah.
of that team. Like Echo can do stuff, but not as
Yeah.
much as he could. So that's going to be interesting to see them. They're going to get themselves into some pickles that he's always been able to get them out of in the past that they won't have
Yeah,
available anymore.
absolutely.
So a huge key player and asset to the team and to Omega because I think she was really getting a more personal side to him.
It really
he
showed
was very
her and Tech's relationship, like Tech kind of acting more human, and
yeah.
Omega, not Echo. I think I said Echo earlier. Omega kind of growing up a little bit, realizing it's not the end of the world to lose a member, but like she grew.
Yeah, even Wanda Sykes' character kind of took a warming
Yeah.
to him. I kind of got that. Like, she was hoping to see those brown eyes again. So I thought that was really cool. So I think his losses it's a rippled effect. Like everyone's going to feel that because he was a great asset to the team. So I hope we get a cool. Another revision of him, and again, since we can do these poses, you have Ray floating, give us the Tech floating backwards, acrylic holding them up.
Yeah, but
awesome.
let's jump into the
awesome.
Funko Pops that we could get. So obviously they got to re-release the Bad Batch in their new outfits. What do you think? You think they're gonna release Hunter and Wrecker and Tech and Echo all with their helmets on or with their helmets off? Or do you think they'll do the same thing in
I think they need to have
both versions?
I want helmet. Well, I have both. I have the individuals, and then I have the 5-pack with
but
the
their
helmets
outfits
on.
are clearly different. They have more they have more fabric texture to their outfits. They have more color.
I want the helmets on and the new arm. Yeah, helmets on and new armor because they're cool. I'll be honest, they look cool for a hot minute when they're the same pose with the helmets off, and they look great together. Like on its own, is it okay? Yeah, but when you see the helmets on these guys are so awesome. They really are. So I like to see the new helmets, new paint schemes because there's like a lot of yellows.
Yeah, and like I said, the
season.
fabrics, like especially on Hunter, he's got like the red fabric coming out of the collar of his armor and stuff. So, yeah, no, you know what? If I think they'll do like a full version with the helmets on, but I wouldn't mind if they did like maybe Hunter with the helmet off, or maybe Echo with the helmet off, and then the rest of them with their helmets on. yeah, just to mix it up, because there were some scenes where a couple of them had the helmet on at the same time, and the others didn't. But for sure, have the full set with the helmets on.
If they're only going to do a limited
do the helmets
run
on.
of them,
Yeah,
definitely helmets.
And then Omega,
sure,
you got to have
a
a new Omega one with her bow and arrow, and that helmet.
100%. Like I want that hat. You know, kind of looks like the Gambit Crete style. Hat, hats.
Similar.
Yeah, get one of those. On her. That cool bow she has. Like, could you imagine that? Like they do the purple acrylic lightsaber. Kind of do the whole bow, and that'd be awesome.
That would be great. Yeah, because
awesome.
The translucent acrylic for the bow. Yeah.
Yeah, because the bow itself is like that gold. So and it's kind of got some ornamental detail. So they could do some really cool stuff with that. Then you have that purple acrylic with the string and the arrow, it makes when they do it. That would look so cool. Like as a pop, I'd be transfixed just seeing that in the store. I'd be like, what is that? Like, it'd be like moth to flame. So I'd be excited to see what they do with that.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome.
So the next one, we would obviously get Crosshair. I think maybe have him without the helmet for Crosshair, just because he's separate from the main team.
You know what? This season, I would say without, because he really
not too much. And he's got that all black outfit, the black armor from the. Yeah.
Yeah, and if anything, let us get him pointing the gun when he shot that commander. From one of the previous episodes there, like that would be cool. Like, make him a little beat up, tired looking. Yeah. That'd be kind of interesting too. I don't know. Or if they could do it where he can be holding his helmet, like when he was standing in front of the wall. For the clones, the memorial for the clones, and talking to Gregor. That would be kind of cool. Cody. Yeah. I'm sorry, Cody.
That would be kind of cool. And actually, that's the next one I would like them to do. I don't know if they would, but they need to do another Cody now. Now that Cody's back in current Star Wars.
Yeah.
With that gray and white now. Yeah.
That gray and white.
And same thing. You could even do him holding the helmet. If you don't do the helmet on, do him holding the helmet.
I think that would be neat. And you know what? They could, in the box, give it that backdrop of the clone thing, just to have something there to give it some kind of point of reference to where you're drawing the inspiration for this pose or whatnot, this pop. That'd be cool. I could see both of them. That'd be really, really cool. And who was the other guy that got killed off earlier on with the teal?
I think that
when the Imperial shot him right off the rooftop there.
Was that last season? I don't think that was this season, was it?
Was that I honestly I can't remember.
I think that was last season.
I can't remember. We had so many of those.
I think so.
Was it? Oh.
Yeah.
All right. I still hit.
I could be wrong, though.
Clone Trooper. But yeah,
we had 16 episodes of the show.
Honestly, they blur.
Exactly. So then the next character, because I'm kind of just going off of like the character posters that they did as kind of like hints as what they're gonna release this year. So the next one is that Teo, and he was at not the pod race, but like those speeders, that speeder race on that one planet. He was one of the racers.
Yep.
So, yeah, he's got like the 3 eyes and everything.
Would you do him as a ride?
No, just by himself. I think just by himself. But like he's got like he's got like those 3 eyes and stuff. So, I think it'd look cool. Like Funko does a great job on droids.
Yeah, that would be kind of cool.
The next one I know you're gonna like. It's that Fee Ganoa I think is how you pronounce it. That's the Wanda Sykes character.
Oh yes. She was. She was a great character.
She was a good character. Like she didn't quite replace Sid, but she did in certain ways. Like she kind of took the the Bad Batch under her wing and kind of like taught them some new lessons and stuff. And
Well, what I find funny when you first got introduced to her character, I thought she was shadier than Sid.
Yeah,
Quite
and that-
honestly, right? I thought she was
yeah,
going to
but
be
it
the
was
shifty,
Sid.
shady one, and yeah, and in here also she kind of reminds me of a good version of Dr. Aphra from the comics and stuff because she's an archaeologist. She's very Indiana Jones-ish. Even that one episode that focused around her character greatly was very Indiana Jones. So I think that would be a really cool character to have.
And then
for
speaking
sure.
of Sid, I think it's
For
time
sure.
we get a Sid Funko Pop. Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially if they're going to continue on with a season 3 and Sid's going to be in season 3. Like season 1, what did we get? We got the 5 members of the Bad Batch, and we got Omega, and then later on we got the Cad Bane from later on. But I think that's it, isn't it?
Yeah, that's right. We got the Cad Bane with Toto.
Yeah, and that was it. So we only got like the 7 pops. So yeah, no. Definitely give us some different characters this time around. So yeah, Sid's got to be a must for them to make.
She took up so much of the last 2 seasons, so they have to.
Yeah.
I think. Like, come on. And I wouldn't mind seeing. Could you imagine seeing a Trandoshan done in that kind of animated look to it? Like what I honestly think is with the retro series, in my opinion. Kind of like all these new Return of the Jedi ones kind of changed the game. I think that paint scheme changed the game because now when you can do a character that looks more animated, you can really make it look a lot more animated now. So I think that was kind of something I'd like to see. Yeah,
so
definitely a Sid.
The next character poster was Gunji, the Wookiee with the Wookiee Jedi. So. What do you think? You think they
again? Take my
if
money.
If they made it, yeah, like, absolutely take my money.
I love this
character. Do you think
character.
that's one that they're gonna make, or do you think?
I don't
they're
think
gonna play
they
it safe?
will, but I'd love
I feel like
to.
they're gonna play it safe again.
I think they play it safe. To Funko. It's a one-off, right? It was just a quick cameo. If you happen to be a Clone Wars fan and remember it, but because I'm a huge fan and I did watch Clone Wars and I'd love to see that. Like I was really hoping to see, because of the connection that Gunji had on the planet when they were getting him back to Kashyyyk, I really like to see Omega and Gunji team up as a pair later in other stories. So I don't know. More love for Gunji. I just thought, I like his lightsaber kind of very, like I chose when I built mine at Galaxy's Edge and did the Savi's Workshop, I did an elemental nature style, so I really feel that was my inspiration to get that is because I remember seeing Gunji's of the wood and I'm like, oh, that's pretty cool looking, man. So very excited for that. I'd love to see that character, but Chris, I doubt it. It's probably, out of 1 to 5, it's a 1 on their list of it. Let's make that one. Yeah,
the next character, the next main character is Senator Chuchi. So that's a female senator with the blue skin. She was a pretty important role this season. I mean, she was in a few episodes.
I agree. I could see her being made as a character. Is she one that I'd get? I'd get her because I've seen her in the past. I don't think it's going to be a hot seller,
though. It's going to be sitting on the shelves.
No, it would be a peg warmer. Yeah, exactly. It would be warming shelves, and maybe we could pick it up on like a $3, clearance or something. But it would be cool to, again, if they do pops well and they do some really interesting characters, like any, I think, fan and collector will purchase that, like Frog Lady, for instance. We had her for an episode, but like, cool one. I have let her slip through my fingers, and you have gotten out. So I think that would be, this character would be kind of like that if they did it. Like, could it be one that a lot of people get, depending how cool they make it look?
Yeah, I think she's in the same thing as Gunji. Like, I don't think they will make her, but I would love to see her made as one. She was a pretty main character.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, she's fighting for the
exactly.
clone rights, right? That's a big storyline.
So the next character poster, because they were released a character poster every week after every episode. So the next one they had Emperor Palpatine, which we don't have a Clone Wars style Emperor Palpatine. So I can see them maybe doing it. Palpatine's a big enough character that people know, even if they didn't watch the Bad Batch, they would see him and they'd be like, okay, cool. So I can see them.
I can see it again if they did something to kind of keep that
Yeah.
squished face, the animation style
Yeah.
is key, right? Because you can't look like a lot of
No,
the other.
you know, if they did the same thing
I
as the
don't know.
Dark Ray, where they kind
That's a
of
tough
chiseled
one.
the jaw a little bit, made it look like at the bottom they kind of carved off the cheeks a little bit at the bottom. Yeah, if they did the same
Yeah.
thing.
Though they gave it like dark
Yeah.
shadows.
Yeah, Dark Shadows. Yeah.
On the Dark Ray pop, it's like a
Yeah, that
dark
too.
shadow or something in there, and kind of like the retro, the fabric detailing was great, so they could easily do that because that's a big portion of the animation, that fabric texture feel to him, and then they gotta make him look like that animated character that we see. Maybe the hood's done in a way that's like really kind of looming. Because I think the hoods they've done a decent job with his, but after seeing the Luke Skywalker hood pulling over, where it's like the head's more recessed and it doesn't, you know what I mean? It kind of covers a little more. I think they could do something like that with Palpatine and make a really substantially different looking version of it. Because I'm even just looking at my red blade right now, that I have. I'm thinking like they got to do something really cool. Because this face sculpt they've done that, and they've done similar to this with the retro series. Still pulled it off, but to really get the Clone Wars animation one, that's gonna be the trick.
That's gonna be a tough one.
That's the
so the next character poster was Benny Barrow. He was that little kid on that mining colony that they went to get the I can't remember what that stuff was, but it was very explosive. They went and got it for Sid. Do you remember that episode?
Yes.
Yeah.
Like that crystal.
Yeah, the crystal.
Yes.
So he was one of the workers on that colony there. I don't see them doing a Funko Pop for him. Yeah.
No.
And even if they did, it's probably one that I wouldn't pick up.
Yeah. Not important to me, at least.
Yeah. So the next one was Scorch. From the Delta Squad, because he showed up in one of the episodes on Mount Tantus there with when they had Crosshair and they were taking other clones there and stuff. So that I can see them doing, because they made Boss with the gaming greats. So I feel like they're gonna do a Scorch.
Yes, they did.
Maybe not with the Bad Batch series. I'd rather see it done with the gaming greats series myself. Yeah.
Gaming greats. Yeah. Me too. I'm curious to see again as they keep improving and improving, because I think the Boss one was done earlier. That's an older gaming greats one. It's not even a newer.
It was new enough where it had a really good pose, like because he had the blaster down. He had his pointing.
Yeah, the blaster out.
So.
And even in the pop itself, Christopher, the glow, they painted that blue in purposely. So I'd like to see it. And the only critique on that is when they do it, because I noticed it just watching it. It's not just the visor, but it starts to come down the nose just a hair. If notice it when you see it. And when they did the pop, they just did a cross. And I've recently shot that, and I was going to extend it down, but I said, you know what, I'm going to kind of follow the pop thing and kind of leave it where it is, because even with the glow, I added just enough glow that it comes down just a little bit, but it's not really going down the vertical. And I think that would make a great looking pop for sure. Scorch, again, the newer detailing, or I don't know what they're doing. Is it a different vinyl, the plastic they're working with or something? But the retooling of what they're doing, I can imagine getting a really cool looking one. Like, he's cool.
So the next character poster they released the following week was Mayday. So this is that clone on that the almost Hoth ice planet there that Crosshair goes on that mission to. Yeah,
Yeah, Satan
he
tries to
he was a
save.
cool
Yeah.
looking clone. Like he had the fabric wrapped
I
around the
liked his
fabric.
helmet, how he
Yeah,
had the little flaps.
he had the fabric wrapped around his
Yeah,
helmet there.
I
Yeah,
thought
no,
that
that
was
looked
cool.
really really cool. So I hope we get something a Funko Pop of him. If they make it like some sort of exclusive,
Me
that'd be
too.
awesome.
I agree.
Yeah.
That would be neat. Let's
Yeah.
do that.
So the next one is Captain Rex, because he showed up in this season too. So looking at the character poster on my phone, he's not wearing his clone armor. He's wearing like that jumpsuit.
Oh, that kind
No,
of hood
that no
thingy,
hood.
or
So
no?
it's, if you guys are watching on YouTube, I'm holding it up to my screen here. That kind of jumpsuit there. Yeah, so
Got ya.
give us another Captain Rex. It would be cool.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They didn't give us that.
I think
They
lot
didn't
of
give us
fans
that hooded
love
version from last year, so they should give us a version from this year.
So would love
Yeah.
to see the hood. That would be cool. The
Yeah.
little poncho,
And then
the helmet.
last
That'd be dope.
the last of the character posters that Star Wars released after I think it was not these last two episodes, the episode before it, Dr. Hemlock. I think I could see that. I could see them
Yes.
making a Funko Pop of them. I would like them to. He was a great character.
Yeah, I agree. And like the way this one ended was really cool, where they're at Tarkin's kind of fortress or whatnot, and he's got Krennic.
That was
Krennic
cool.
there. So that was our first kind of
Captain Krennic
animation
or whatever,
version
or
of Krennic.
Commander Krennic or something. Or
Director
yeah,
Krennic.
but they called him
yeah.
Captain or something in
Director
this
Krennic.
show.
Yeah.
So
But
nice
yeah,
little.
so you're
Yeah,
seeing him in
nice
there.
little tie-in
They're
between
asking
the
him,
Bad
like,
Batch
well, what
and
about
Rogue
your
One and
project?
stuff. Yeah, and what's going on with Project Stardust? Yeah.
Yeah, and I thought it was neat. He had like the it was kind of like a concept version of what eventually became a shock trooper, the red kind of troopers coming into the room. I thought that was kind of neat, like guarding the room. But Hemlock for sure has to. He is a major player going forward, because I think he's always, now that we've kind of got introduced to him, I think they could have dropped hints of him anywhere. He's going to be like who was that evil doctor from the Marvel universe who was with the bad guys, the bald guy, little glasses, and he was in the computer.
I can't remember. Yeah,
you know what I'm talking about?
But
from like Captain America,
Yeah.
that character, that bad guy.
But yeah, no, I would like to see a pop of him. Another one I would like to see is I just thought of it too, and I lost it. Is there any that you want to see? There's some other characters. Oh, Nala Se is what I was thinking. Nala Se.
Nala Se, yes.
Because like she's
that would be one I'd like to see.
She was pretty big in this season, in the few episodes that she was in.
I'll throw one out there. How about Omega's sister?
Right?
Dun dun dun.
See, I don't know if they'll do one of her
like,
this season yet, but you never know.
No, you never know. But
I'll take it. Yeah, I'll take it.
Be interesting. Yeah.
And then there was also like the other,
but other ones.
We mentioned that. What was that droid's name again? We just brought him up. I can't remember. Let me. That racer droid.
Yeah, the racer droid.
Teo. So we mentioned him.
Teo.
But there was that alien guy. I can't think of the species. He was his.
And he wasn't he in like the Phantom Menace too?
His species was in the Force Awakens, I think it was. Yeah. So
okay.
I can't remember the character's name, but he was voiced by I think he was voiced by Ernie Hudson from Ghostbusters. His character would be kind of cool to see as a Funko Pop.
Yeah, that wouldn't be bad.
Yeah,
I'm trying to think. Is there anything else to me
stood
that
out.
really
Yeah,
stood
I don't
out?
think so.
I mean, they're not going to be doing any Zillo
No,
Beast.
that. Can you imagine how big that would be?
That'd be
Right?
massive. That'd be massive. Trying to think of any other.
What's the name? Grinny. Grinny Melody. I don't know how do you pronounce his name, but he was the character in the Bad Batch. Let me see if there's a picture of him on here somewhere. Where's there a picture? Because like his character showed up in The Force Awakens. He was in like not his character, but like that style character. This guy.
Oh, with the horns
that guy
you're
there.
talking about?
Yeah.
Yes. That you know what?
Yeah.
That is
The
what I
horns
was
of the
thinking
chin.
earlier, and I
The
totally
horns on the
brain
chin,
fucked it.
right? So he. Yeah.
Yes. He was hanging out in the Force.
Yeah, he was.
Force Awakens. It was
Yeah,
that girl in the
sit-
black and
yeah,
white
he was,
bodysuit.
He was
with
just
nails.
he was just
Kind
sitting
of.
on that
Just like-
platform
yes.
on that couch there.
Like on a
Yeah.
throne himself.
So
Yes.
yeah.
Yes, because they had one of his species in that racer episode with
so
Jack and everything.
This was him.
Yes,
he
yes,
was,
yes.
He
I
was
was
voiced
gonna
by
say that.
Ernie Hudson from Ghostbusters, who played Winston in Ghostbusters. So
Yes, I think they should, especially how he warned the batch about Sid.
he's got to
Like,
they
for
got to have him come
sure.
back next season. Like the history he has with Sid.
Who knows? Maybe he ends up working for the rebels or the resistance
maybe.
at one point. You know, maybe he gets tired of it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
Because maybe put it this way, he's making money on the races, right? Maybe he's getting tired of his pilots not being able to race because they're getting called to action. He ends up, I might as well, if they're all in, I might as well go all in as well. That's my investment. I don't know. We'll see. But that's what I do like about the Star Wars universe is being able to get those different characters to participate and come in and out of the different stories.
But that'll do it for our episode. Now we're just over an hour on this episode, so I think that'll do it this episode. So Patrick, where can people find you when you're not on the podcast?
When I'm not on the podcast with you, Christopher, talking all things Star Wars Funko, I'm on my own channel at Toy Photographer. It's spelled TOYPHOTOGFR, very much like a license plate. And what I do on my channel is I do creative images of Star Wars Funko Pop, some tutorials of going behind the scenes, some BTS, and I do my version called What's in the Box of an unboxing, where I get to share with you some of the new additions to my collection. So that's what I do, but Christopher, what do you do when you're not on here with me on the Star Wars Popcast?
When I'm not on the Star Wars Popcast chatting Star Wars Funko Pop related news with you, Patrick, I am on my own channel, Seriously Star Wars, doing weekly Star Wars reviews of mostly Funko Pops lately, but sprinkled in with Mission Fleet Black Series figures. But every week I release a couple videos a week, so I'll leave links to everything down in the description and in the show notes, and you guys could check that stuff out. But thank you so much for watching on YouTube and listening to us wherever you find your favorite podcasts, and we will see you in the next episode.